What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Embiid Unsupervised. That's Brandon. I'm Jacob. And listen, we're going to start off the podcast with, we never endorsed one or the other, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, but Donald Trump won the election. He is our 47th president of the United States of America. He will take office at the beginning of the year. And listen, we told everybody to go out and do your research, vote. America voted, and they voted Donald Trump. It really wasn't a close race at all by any means. And a lot of people are upset. We're not going to spend too much time on this because people are very in their feelings about this right now. And listen, and I'm going to leave it like this. You're still going to get up and go to work, and it's not going to change. The government's not going to make you better. The government's not going to get you out of your situation you're in. There's only one person that can get you out of the situation you're in. And that's yourself.
Pretty much.
And that's what you got to do. And so, I know a lot of people, again, out there very upset about how the election went, but the American people spoke. And if you didn't go vote, I don't really think you have a big, say in the outcome because you didn't execute your right to go vote. But again, we said regardless of whoever won, we were going to raise our glasses to whoever won the president, and Trump won, so here's to President Trump. Congratulations. And shout out to Kamala Harris. She gave it her best shot, and she just ended up falling short for a magnitude of reasons that, if you don't know, then you just don't know. But I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But moving right into the sports world, I want to start with the NBA. One of the biggest headlines right now that's got me a little upset, I don't know how you feel about it. Joel Embiid was suspended 3 games by the NBA for pushing the reporter that wrote the column that talked about his late brother who had passed away and talking about Embiid's son. Now, there was no physical punches. It was just a push above the shoulders, and Embiid was suspended 3 games. How do you feel about it? To me, I just don't think Embiid should. To me, if I know I was getting suspended, I guess, not trying to condone no violence or nothing, but damn, you're talking about his dead brother and you're talking about Embiid's son. There's just certain things you don't talk about.
I'm swinging because my son, my dead brother,
I'm already dealing with the knee.
It has nothing to do with basketball.
Yes, absolutely.
Nothing to do with basketball. And you're asking me nothing about basketball. So, get picked. No. I was probably swinging on you because
I just did not like the fact that the NBA decided to suspend Joel Embiid 3 games.
You're not allowed to put hands on people. You're allowed to be a keyboard hero
I've always said, if you want to speak about the athlete and whatever, cool. But there are things that are off limits. And family is 100% off limits in my personal opinion. So, Joel Embiid is supposed to make his NBA debut November 12th. Against the Knicks, and that's when the in-season tournament's supposed to start. So that's tough for Philadelphia right now. Paul George just came.
Isn't it kind of weird though that he played for Team USA, but is not ready for the 76ers?
Yeah,
and he also came out and he said that he will not be playing back-to-backs.
Yes.
And Charles Barkley came at him. He's like, "This is
Shaq came at him
to play 82 games."
Here's where I think Joel Embiid would.
But you see, you and I got to go to work 5 days a week. Plus some,
yes,
to be able to afford to do stuff. Meanwhile, he's like, "Well, I had 82 days, and you're playing ball. You're bouncing a basketball."
Yes, you're not right.
You're literally playing the sport, quote unquote, that outside of Joker you love.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate for Joel Embiid. If you know, we know Joel Embiid a lot because he played for Kansas. We know his. He's got a history of injuries.
Now,
we know.
I don't have a problem with him not playing back to backs because when
you're trying to get him to the playoffs.
I want to see the best of the best of Joel, and I want him to have a long career. I want to enjoy watching him.
Yes.
And I get their thing of what people of Charles Barkley and Shaq coming at him. Well, back in the day, he also didn't play more than 10, 12 years. We have LeBron James now that's 40, 50, 60 years old playing in his 22nd year in the season.
LeBron will be 40 in December, which is crazy.
So, and he's still putting up prime numbers for a lot of players.
Yes.
Which is great. Prime too. But on the Embiid, I'm not mad that he's not playing back-to-backs. I think it's hard. If anybody played sports, even in high school, or even at the college level, playing anything back-to-back is hard, even at a young age. I played.
Well, especially if you're a dual sport athlete.
Back-to-backs.
Especially if you're a dual.
2 games in a day. would have a game in the morning and then like
Game
in between and then have to go again. You probably had that with basketball.
Yes, especially in the AAU scene.
That second game,
2-3 games a day.
After halftime, you had not much whole lot left. You hope that game was a wrap by then.
Yeah. The only thing I had a problem with the back-to-backs is I wish Joel Embiid wouldn't have said it because you took a lot more heat. If you would have just let the organization say, you know what, we're not going to play Embiid in back-to-back games, and then Embiid could have rebutted with, saying, I really want to play, but I understand the organization wants to keep me. I wish he would have went that route. I wish he would have had a PR team that would have helped him, but he came out and said it.
I get it, but personally, I'd rather the player just be truthful. I don't like this. Well, I need to sugarcoat stuff. Or I need to speak a certain way to appease the media, and then when people.
But what is your thoughts about like the OG players like Shaq and Charles Barkley that criticize a lot of these young guys? Like,
well, those are also the same people that think Michael Jordan is the GOAT, hands down, there's zero debate, and that this league is soft, and then the same people that cried because Tatum got bumped into.
Yeah.
So, like, I have a
That's
problem.
why I said people need to pick what side of the league you want to be on. Do you want a physical league or a soft league? You can't have a middle. It's one or the other.
And so that's why
I lean toward I want a more physical. You remember the Olympic basketball was great. That was gritty, tough, nose basketball.
Points. That was the thing that everybody wants to see points, and you still can score.
Yes.
And I don't really have an issue with them calling them out because they have every right to call them out. Shaq is a 4-time champion. Charles Barkley's a Hall of Famer with 0 rings, but they have the rights to call out foreign players, and they're very well respected.
Well, I think though the older generation looks at the medicine's different, trainers are different, but it's also more.
Some people don't.
But we also play more.
Like
I also feel like you said, athletes don't take it serious about taking care of their body like some other athletes do. But I feel like you play a lot more now. The AAU scene's a lot different. You're playing. There's not time off. You're consistently playing throughout the year. So.
But some people's bodies, not every body is built differently. Like look at Zion. We all knew coming into the league he was going to have injury issues with his weight. And then even now with cutting a bunch of weight, he's now dealing with an injury that is still unknown. And Joel has been well known that he has injury problems. Ben Simmons has a back injury he's never been able to get right.
Yep. There are just some guys that are just.
You have the LaMelo Ball.
The ankle injuries. Think about Curry in the early stage of his career. The ankle injuries.
And it still flares up.
Yes.
Just rolled it not too long ago.
Was out a couple games.
In the very early NBA season.
So, again, I think some athletes need to be a little bit more mindful. If you want a long city career, you gotta be willing to spend the money.
Trying to get the bag.
So.
Consistently get the bag. Because could Joel go and blow it all out and play 10 years and have a great career and been known as one of the dudes who just could have stayed healthy.
Yep. Well, you think about a lot of guys that if they could have stayed healthy, the Brandon Roys, the Derrick Roses, the Tracy McGrady's, the Penny Hardaways. Imagine what their careers would have been like if they stayed healthy. Hell, even Kobe Bryant. Derrick Rose is the biggest what if to me. Even Kobe Bryant, as great as Kobe was, Kobe dealt with a lot of injuries that he also played through. The whole resting, think about it, Greg Popovich really started it. Resting the Tim Duncans, the Ginobiles, the Parkers, a game here, game.
And older in their career. In mid-30s.
And to save them down the road, but.
To have them ready for the
And that's why the NBA now still.
started with Kawhi.
Well, Kawhi is load management. Oh, man. But, again, like you said, you want the best version. A lot of these franchises are just trying to get their guys to the postseason when basketball really matters. And that's what some of these. Joel Embiid understands now you're not winning no more awards. You're not going to be all first team, no defense, no MVPs, no nothing because you probably won't play the 65 minimum games that you have to play to be eligible for some of these awards and stuff like that. So. We'll have to see how it goes. It's just unfortunate, that Embiid's body just unfortunately can't hold up. So, another hot topic we need to talk about, Russell Westbrook. We all know Russell Westbrook's tenure with the Oklahoma City Thunder, after Durant left, the triple-doubles and all that. Then he moved on to the Rockets. Not a whole lot of success there. Left the Rockets, went to the Wizards. Not a whole lot of success there in the 1 year. We all know how the Lakers' tenure went. Then he got to the Clippers, revived him a little bit, and now he's with the Denver Nuggets. It's his 5th team since leaving the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, granted, he's had some games this year where he's been good.
Yes.
Obviously, yesterday where he put up 29 points on 10 of 15 shooting. But anonymous people around the league feel like Russell Westbrook should retire and hang it up. What are your thoughts on people saying that Westbrook should just hang it up?
The haters. They're just haters.
Like,
because he's still can be a very efficient basketball player. I think he needs to check himself.
The ego, you gotta check the ego.
Before he runs himself out of the league, because he is a 100-mile-per-hour player.
He's gonna give you everything.
On both ends of the court, and it's hard to get that out of even the nowadays younger players to be able to go up. And honestly, out of anything, just a tone setter. If Draymond Green feels like Draymond Green has a place in this league where he does absolutely nothing besides get boards and get technical fouls and set screens so Curry can shoot the ball, Russell Westbrook has a humongous place in this league. And with Jamal Murray out, who's been out for the Nuggets, Westbrook has looked good.
Now that his role's been a little bit more defined.
The Nuggets offense actually looked a lot more fluid. I don't know what's going on with Jamal Murray. I'm not quite sure.
But he better figure it out.
But with Team Canada, I think
it's unfortunate too.
I think he thinks he's on Team Canada still.
To me, it's still unfortunate because ever since the knee injury with Jamal Murray, he's never really been the same outside of when he plays the Lakers. He's struggled.
Well, a lot of people get up for the Lakers. Just ask Ja. He got up for
But I agree with you. I think people are hating on Westbrook. Now, it's unfortunate. I wish Westbrook would have been able to develop somewhat of a jump shot, and that's just not. That's not Westbrook. He's a slasher. He's a rim runner. He coming 100 and he coming 1,000 miles an hour at you. It don't matter. And so, but overall, since like you said, Jamar's been out, he's stepped his game up. He's elevated. Him and Joker look like damn. Could you imagine if Westbrook in his prime with Joker? Good fucking God, I'd be scared shitless having to guard that.
Even this Joker and Westbrook
they're
together is
very
still,
complementary.
You got more of a popper with Joker and more of a slashing with Westbrook.
Well, because with that pick and roll, Westbrook's going to attack. But if his jump shot's rolling, you have to guard it. And you got Joker who can step out, hit the occasional 30-footer, can get to the rim. Not going to force up anything bad, as we've always said. Joker's going to get to his spot and put up the shot that he wants. He's not going to force nothing. He's not going to force a damn thing. So, again, we say to all the haters out there, stop hating. Westbrook is a first-ballot Hall of Famer in my book for everything that he's accomplished.
He's not a first-ballot.
You don't think he's a first-ballot Hall of Famer?
He's a first-ballot Hall of Famer.
The triple-doubles.
The triple-doubles, and I get, the MVPs, but he's probably not going to get a ring, which is a big thing for point guard.
Yes.
It's a big thing you have to have. That's Chris Paul's biggest thing is he doesn't have that ring.
That's all Chris Paul's missing. But okay, so you don't think first ballot
Hall of Famer, yes, because he rejuvenized the triple double, but he won't be a first ballot.
Okay, that's fair.
If he is, I'm 100% okay with him being a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just don't think he actually will be because he'll be missing some athletes for points.
Okay. So real quick, we obviously know Victor Wembanyama in his sophomore year has been a little bit of a struggle. And I don't think necessarily – I get Victor looks like he's in a slump, but the Spurs need a better roster around Victor. Now, Chris Paul and him have had great connections with the lobs, stuff like that, but the Spurs roster in general is ass. It's total garbage. And I think for Victor, people are calling him, he's in a sophomore slump. He's not looking good. It's hard to look good when your team can't spread. It's for you, and everybody can collapse on you. A lot of people believe that he needs to stop being Kevin Durant, start being Giannis. What's your thoughts on that?
I think he is in his sophomore season. There's tape out on him how to try to defend him. I still don't think anybody can actually defend him when it comes to shooting, and you've seen him actually develop a lot more offensive bag as a big man.
He's trying to figure out his go-to move, honestly, what I think he's trying to figure out right now.
His jumper looks a lot more clean, a lot more lethal this year. It looks very similar to last year, so I'm glad he didn't, some players in the league are changing up their jump shots. His just is looking more consistent throughout the whole game, less fatigue in the shot. And honestly, I think as the season progresses, we're going to see him just
he's already leading the league in blocks. He's
defensively, there's no questions. It's always about offensively and what he can and can't bring to a team. And when you don't have a whole lot surrounding you, and you don't have a lot of shooters, which is what he needs, he's literally the definition in my mind of throw. He can pull you out to the 3-point line.
Yes.
He can dance with the ball. and he can shoot over you because nobody, not even KD, can contest it.
No.
And then he can also not necessarily bang, but he has enough down low.
Well, he's put on what 20 pounds of muscle, they said, almost damn near in the off.
So tall that he doesn't really have to bang. We lately seen him from like the free throw line jump right now. Like you can just go boop.
Yeah, he's
just put it in there. So the criticism he needs it to push him. But I think, honestly, I like what I really have seen from.
I just think, like you said, he's trying to develop his bag a little bit more. He's trying to figure out his go-to move that is a certified bucket that like no one can stop. But I do think the Spurs roster needs to be better. It's unfortunate right now. A lot of people don't know Greg Popovich is dealing with a serious health issue. We don't know the circumstance around that, but we do know it's not good. And we wish well for Greg Popovich because he's one of the greatest NBA coaches of all time. But
I have something on. I think honestly, Victor, in the offseason, should spend a lot of time with KD and learn KD's handles.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Because how KD gets to hit, KD takes, like they said on Team USA, he takes 2-3 dribbles, bang, and he's into his shot. Well, Victor is he's taller.
Yeah,
about 5 inches taller than KD. But he has handled what he has now.
Yeah.
You could try to focus in something kind of like that that's very quick and decisive and into that shot. Because nobody can contest KD now outside of probably, obviously, Victor.
Yeah.
With what he gets into in his shot and his release. You give him a similar kind of bag with handles. Because he's not thick and he's not big.
No.
Like a traditional big man to be able to post up and go big. So you give him some similar kind of bag of KD's. Well, you're done.
I still think that the sky's the limit for Victor, and when he puts it all together, and the Spurs can put a roster around him, and they need to put a roster because you don't want to lose Victor. Like he is generational talent. Like we've already, especially last year, what we thought we were getting from him offensively, he blew all of our expectations out like a water.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm curious to see how Victor goes. I think the Spurs are going to need to try to make some moves. Obviously, with Greg Popovich out, it's a little bit different of an offense to a degree.
Well,
but
I think Chris Paul being there is going to help him just maturity-wise and help him just kind of even.
Well, you've already seen it already with him being able to catch lobs, get easier buckets at times. So
just make the offense easier for him to fit into overall and run easier sets where it's not so much just kind of one-on-one ball. But honestly, his mark from the start of his career to the end of it be on the defensive side of the ball, and he's going to be one of one.
Real quick though, before we move on to the next, shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are 9-0. They are on fire right now, which is kind of crazy because coming into the in the offseason, there was some turmoil, some controversy between Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. They said if they signed Donovan Mitchell, Garland wanted to trade. He didn't want to, and honestly,
and new head coach
Kenny Atkins, he's got that team rolling. I don't see no turmoil. These dudes are playing and they are running up and down the motherfucking court. They are pushing the tempo. They are looking good, like a real threat in the Eastern Conference. Granted, we're only 9 games in. We're not trying to overblow it, but to start 9-0, and when you're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, that's pretty fucking impressive.
Well, I mean, no one said they don't got talent.
They
have talent, but
they're young. Kenny Atkins,
with the new head coach,
yes,
and whatever turmoil they kind of had there between their two guards/star players. Sometimes they're bringing in fresh boys somewhere that maybe Garland really liked what he had to say in the system he wanted to run, how he wanted to run it through him.
Yeah.
And Donovan Mitchell when they're both on the court versus when they're off the court, let it run through both of them when one's off and one's on. Obviously, it's working great.
It's definitely working. So shout out to the Cavs. We talked about this last week. The NBA is down in some viewership, and we talked about that a lot of it has to do with it's hard to find some of the games that are on TV when they're not on TNT and ESPN. But a lot of it I also think, too, is the NBA is having a hard time trying to figure out that next star. Who's going to carry the throne? Do you think it's hard for the NBA to find that next person because, one, the guys that they wanted to push it on have got into some legal trouble, been injured, haven't lived up to the expectations? Or did LeBron, Curry, and the Kevin Durant set the bar too high for this next generation that's coming in? Especially LeBron, who's carried the torch for 2 decades.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. LeBron has aged out all of the superstars that could have carried the torch. No, it's not. I don't like it. I think LeBron, in my opinion, has aged out everybody. LeBron has aged out Curry.
He aged out
KD. He's aged out anybody that could have carried the torch after him. He's aged out. Not that because he's kept playing. It's just that he's stayed the same dominance.
Still averaging 27
career. It's not like he's taken a dip and he's just, kind of like, towards the couple of years of Kobe's career, he wasn't really quite that dude, and you knew LeBron was Bron.
Yeah.
But LeBron's still LeBron. LeBron James and Lakers are on TV, whether they're good or bad when he's been in LA. You're going to tune in, whether watch it or keep your eye on the score.
Yeah.
He's one-of-one talent there as well. So he's kind of edged them out, and then anybody they try to put in there kind of like a jaw. Legal troubles. Okay, Zion, he's the next dude, and then injuries, don't play. Once out of the Pelicans.
They try to force Tatum in the league, and the fans didn't really take to Tatum. So
unlike what the media wants, as we have seen in the world, just because the media might want to push something doesn't mean the public wants that.
Yes.
And the public, they don't see what you're trying to force onto us, so it's failing miserably when they have they have Ant.
Like obviously, Ant is someone.
But it's going to be. But the Spurs have to get better. But it's going to be
Victor
Wembanyama, because he's so unique.
What about SGA? Do you think SGA has a chance, or is it?
He's going to be
up there. He's
going to be up there.
Kind of like surfing around there.
Here, Dwayne Wade kind of superstar power.
Yeah.
That's what he reminds me of. But it's OKC, so he's going to draw.
What about Luka? Or has Luka been established too long? It's just doesn't.
Luka is Luka's on TV. I tune in, but there's also other. But he's not. He's a glorified bucket, but he's not. I'm going to rim out. I'm going to dunk on everybody. There's a difference in star attraction. In the playoffs, you tune in to watch Luka. Luka's going to give you everything he got. But to keep your attention, in my opinion, throughout the season, we want to see people dunking. We want to see deep threes. And Luka deep threes, but he doesn't really dunk. But he nasty handles.
Ant's kind of starting to
give you everything. He's starting to shoot a lot more threes, and he also put it out.
Making about 5 threes a game right now, so he's stepped it up.
Definitely.
So I think the NBA will be fine. Like you said, we've talked about this before. It's hard to find the games. College football is going on. College basketball is now starting. NFL is still rolling. So once everything kind of dies down, the NBA, I think, will kind of just... And it's still early in the season. We're only 2-3 weeks into the season. So there's
82 games for NBA
for
the regular season. There's only, what are we at, 17 games for the NFL. So
we're at week 9. Or going into week...
premium for football.
Yeah.
In college and in the pros. And even in college basketball, it has 30-something, I think, almost.
Yeah, 31 games.
Before they even get to the NCAA March Madness.
So the basketball is not a premium sport to watch. There's a lot of games to be played, unlike in football, that's a contact, aggressive sport. So you know, you married that. That's yours. You claim that.
My son is just in what is it? I have no action, so I'm just standing.
Some of us didn't play Sims.
Well, you should. It's a great game.
Okay, Minecraft.
That's a good game, too.
No, Minecraft's not a good game.
Just because all you play is 2K. And some zombies sometimes. Get on Fortnite, loser.
We have. When we got a dub and didn't know it.
Yeah,
we carried you to a dub.
Play your video games, guys. Broaden your horizon.
Yeah.
Unlike Brandon. Broaden your horizon.
Yeah, Brandon.
Damn it.
God. But another team I want to talk about specifically, Draymond Green has had a lot of hate to say about the OKC Thunder. Talking about how he doesn't like some of their post-game. They're too buddy and the roof at the end of things. Talking about we want to hear SGA talk. Do you think just Draymond Green's just kind of salty because OKC is rising? He doesn't think they're a scary team. To me, I think you should fear the OKC Thunder. They're coming. They're young. They're growing together. They're a cohesive unit.
I think you're just jealous.
To me, I think you sound salty as hell when you say, I don't like you doing the... I'm like, Draymond, bro, who are you to be talking now? We respect what you've done defensively. You're a champion. You're going to be a Hall of Famer because Curry, no disrespect, carried you to think, and you also like destroyed dynasties in OKC too. Like you could have had Durant there a lot longer, probably one more, and you fucked that all up. Like that was Draymond's fault for KD leaving. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so like, and I still think they messed up by letting Clay go. Clay looking good down there with the Dallas Mavericks. But getting back to the topic, does the Oklahoma City Thunder are they the scariest team in the NBA currently? Like do they scare you? Do they put that fear like damn, like 7-game series like OKC?
Yeah.
And if it's not them, like who do you think? And obviously it's early.
I think it's very early, but I think again the West has the most talent going on, and I think along with them and the Mavs and potentially the Timberwolves are probably the 3 scariest teams to have to go up against and face, in my opinion. Now the Warriors, obviously, because of Curry, and I think Draymond he's salty of seeing what he used to have. Young Warriors of them growing, being cohesive, and I think he's just jealous knowing that his window has shut. He's not going to see another chip, and he got paid multiple times because of Curry. And
to me, to hate on another team because you don't like the way they do interviews, like they like this show to me, like they like playing with each other, like they are a cohesive unit. They are one. Who care? Like they don't care. Like they are happy to bring their buddy into the huddle. That's not just a one. Like they are all together. That just shows you they are a united front, and like you can't break them. Like they're together. So I think that just shows that they're a good team. They have great chemistry, and they've been together for a while. Like,
well, that's how you know you're a great team. People hate you, not
yeah,
if
you're not
hating you. You're not one. You're not. If people don't hate you, you're not. Then you're not good.
Yes.
But if people hate you, you know that you one are good and your team is good.
Yeah, and OKC, I mean, I'm curious to see what they look like going forward. But yeah, that's the NBA. Like I said, we're a couple weeks in. The season's just getting started. So much basketball has to be played. We're going to get a little bit later into the season, early MVPs, Defense Player of the Years, and all that. But it's still too early to even talk about that, especially with so many guys averaging 30 points right now, which is crazy. But moving on to the NFL. Obviously, the trade deadline just passed.
Yeah.
Overall, let's talk about who do you think won overall, like throughout the trade deadline, up until the trade deadline. Like who do you think, like, who did it? Like, obviously, okay.
Can I talk about loser first?
Okay, let's go loser first. Yeah, let's talk about. I have on here too. I want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Like, let's start with. Since you start with the loser, let's talk about the Cowboys. In the offseason, you had 2 guys that wanted to be paid max money. You gave Dak his max money, highest paid quarterback money, $60 million. You gave CD his highest, well, not highest paid, second highest paid at 34 million.
34.
And it hadn't been good.
No.
Dak's probably done for the year. Probably going to have season-ending surgery on the hamstring.
Well, he's out for at least 4 weeks.
So you got CD who's dealing with the shoulder injury. The running game is atrocious. They could have had Derrick Henry, but didn't want to even attempt. Jerry Jones didn't want to do that. Then they make the trade at the trade deadline for the Carolina Panthers wide receiver, and they gave up a
4th round pick.
4th round pick for him. I'm like, what good does that do you when your quarterback's out? And you're not even going to do Trey Lance. Trey Lance is not even the starting quarterback who you gave up all the capital for to get him to the Dallas Cowboys. So
the Cowboys are 3-5. I don't know what making a trade for a wide receiver was supposed to do for you when you could have used that 4th round pick in the draft to draft a wide receiver. If that's what you wanted to do. Your season is all but a wrap. Your quarterback just went on IR. Your quarterback went on IR.
Yeah,
the dude who's supposed to be the engine of your offense went on IR. You have Cooper Rush and Trey Lance. You went with Cooper Rush, which is you gave him a 4th round pick last year for Trey Lance from the Niners.
Yep.
Yet you're not going to play Trey Lance to see what you have in him. Not like it matters because you paid Dak Prescott.
Yeah, so
both of them are. Well, Trey Lance is going to be gone eventually to go someplace else to see what that Trey Lance ever can become, that 1st round talent or not.
Yeah,
that is to be seen. But to me, the biggest loser is the Cowboys, and I don't know why you make a trade.
Yeah,
you're done. Your Cowboys, you're not.
If you were gonna, you should have made moves well before when things started to go. But you should have made trades
in the offseason.
Yeah,
when it made the most sense.
And
honestly, the biggest thing overall in the offseason, you shouldn't have let Dan Quinn walk. You should have fired Mike McCarthy, and you should have made Dan Quinn your head coach because that defense is a shell of itself now.
Yeah, that defense is
And that
a
defense
trick.
has star talent across the board. No
Granted,
matter hasn't played.
They've had some injuries, but
The talent's all there from top to bottom, removing Micah.
Yeah.
And they still look, and they look horrible.
yeah, it's not.
They
If
look
you're
soft.
a Dallas Cowboys fan, man, it's
But
you're
I'm
all.
afraid of misery, though.
Yes,
I am. I
yeah.
am, because y'all are so annoying.
But now, who's the winner? Do you think? To me, I think there's two teams that are winners.
To me, the winner is the Lions.
The Lions.
Getting Zadarius Smith from the Browns was a huge win because it was a huge need.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I know. Go ahead.
Well, to me, I also think some of the biggest winners, too, was Kansas City Chiefs. They made two big moves. Baltimore, they made some moves as well. They got a wide receiver, which we talked about last week, which you weren't a fan of. They went out and got a corner and Trey White from the Rams.
What was Trey White even got left, though?
Well, I mean, but when you're, again, he was with the Lions, or the Rams, who were supposed to be promising, got banged up, and starting to get healthy, so again, don't know. But he's coming to Baltimore. He's filling a need there. We'll see what they can get out of them if they can revive, what he used to be. But it's hard. Like, I'm not trying to be biased, but like DeAndre Hopkins was wasting away in Tennessee, and he comes to Kansas City, second game, and just implodes.
Yeah.
Literally was a shot at Tennessee, letting Tennessee like, you messed up by not. Granted, they didn't have a quarterback. I know. Because they paid Ryan Tannehill all that money to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, and it just never. Pretty much.
It was not a shot at the Titans. He even came out and said, and then Watch came out and said that it wasn't a shot at the Titans. It was more of a remembering, because it's remember the Titans. It was more of a thanks for my time there, because he never came.
Yes.
He didn't dislike his time there, and even people in the chief organization said that. Well, no, it wasn't a shot. It was a tip of the hat to the Titans, and that was also one of his favorite movies.
Yeah, I'm happy for D-Hop, though. He, again, should have made this decision a couple years ago, but it's never too late. Never too
We
late.
didn't need him a couple years ago.
I also
Now.
think the Bills made a good move getting Amari Cooper. Now I get Amari Cooper's a little banged up, trying to get used to the system, but he's also opened up a lot more for them wide receivers and young guys, getting them Kincaid, Knox, and all them boys. They're getting it going. Shakir. So
the biggest one is for Shakir and Keenan Coleman, the rookie wide receiver. I think really you're going to see him kind of flourish under Amari Cooper's kind of tutelage.
yes.
But really going to spread it out and really help Josh Allen continue his MVP
Now,
season.
there was another trade that Kansas City was in on with the Saints, Marshawn Lattimore, which ultimately went to the Commanders, but they gave up a third, a fourth, and a sixth for Marshawn Lattimore. That was a low. I understand why Kansas City didn't go for him, and I'm glad we didn't because that's way too much draft capital that I'm not willing to give up.
For us, would be a one-year rental.
Yeah.
The Commanders lock you
Like dark horse, like kind of like a dark horse right now. They're sitting at a good 6-2, 7-2. What are the Commanders right? 7-2, top of the division right now. Rookie quarterback, 4-0 at home.
So like with them making that trade for a stud at corner in Marshawn Lattimore,
Which
so
fills a big need for them defensively.
It definitely helps out that.
Helps
defense.
Dan Quinn.
Is that saying that their window is now? Like their window is open? Like the Super Bowl window is here and now and it's open? Or like?
Well, also think they look at it too. The Giants are a joke. Cowboys are in dysfunction.
Right.
The Eagles, we don't know if we trust their
But
coaching.
I mean, I'm not saying this season. I mean, as a whole, making a move like this, giving up that draft capital, give up 2 premium picks and a 6.
Well, when you think about Dan Quinn and what he means defensively, bringing in Marshall Lattimore brings in a.
But what I'm asking, like, do you think that like if they're saying to the league, we are here now and are
Yeah. Oh yeah.
now?
Yeah. I think they're. Well, they feel like their window is now. Like I think they feel.
7-2.
I mean, granted, I don't know if they can honestly beat the Lions. I mean, they've won some games that have been like incredible.
Well, then what's the point of making any move if you like you?
But again, they feel like they can.
The Bills make a move for Amari Cooper. That doesn't mean they're going to beat us, but you make the move hoping that's going to be like
Yes.
help.
But again, I think the Commanders make that move because they feel like we have arrived. They feel Dan Quinn's got them believing, and he really got some believers out of a lot of people right now at 7-2. So
I didn't really realize they were 7-2. Like I knew they were, I don't know. Like I knew they were winning their division, but I guess I don't
Again,
know.
and Jalen Daniels, they've made the system for him college-like, but it's what he can handle right
They
now.
brought a college head coach OC
And-
to be his OC. Like it makes the most sense.
So, yeah, they make the move because they feel like, not that their window is close because their window is still very open because they are a young team, but I feel like they're trying to establish themselves as like, hey, we are contenders as well right now as well.
That's what I mean. Like when you draft a rookie, you don't have a window to win a Super Bowl because you don't know what you have in that rookie quarterback. But you're 7-2, his rookie season, and the NFC's looking very gettable. There's that move. I'm assuming they're going to keep Marshawn Lattimore.
But if you also think about it
long-term.
too, when you think about the NFC, you think about the teams that have been there before. The 49ers banged the fuck up, like from top to bottom. They're 4-4.
And third place in their
And
division.
so when you look at the NFC, it's really like, I mean, damn, it's really just kind of, the Vikings are up there, the Lions,
Falcons.
the Falcons are there. So it's like,
Kirk Cousins.
who do you really trust? I mean, the Lions are looking like real people. The Eagles, but can you trust Nick Sirianni not to fuck it all up?
No.
So there's some questions in the NFC. So I think the Commanders look at it as well, like, damn, it's gettable. It's really just kind of the Lions right now. Like the Lions are the top of the NFC, and everybody else is kind of like falling into place. So the Commanders feel like, damn, like if it's our night, who knows?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't blame the Commanders for doing it. I do think it was a little steep giving up that much, but when you have the capital to get rid of and you have the guys you have locked into place, I guess you can give up. Now, granted, I wouldn't give up that capital for the Chiefs because of how well we draft later in the rounds and how we could find a diamond in the goddamn rough. But shout out to the Commanders, man. I'm curious to see what they do. It's going to be very interesting to see how they go. So that's our winners and losers of the trade deadline.
How do you feel about the Bengals making a in-season trade move?
I don't think they traded for the running back from the Bears because obviously Herbert.
Khalil Herbert.
Zach Moss is probably done for the year with that neck injury. I don't think it moves the needle for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's problem is they spent too much money elsewhere or have to put money elsewhere that it's cost them a lot of their stars. Their defense isn't great. Your one defensive star doesn't even really want to be there. Requested a trade in the offseason but didn't get traded in Henderson. But he's playing phenomenal. If you think about the Bengals, they're 4-5. They basically have to win. Like, they're pretty much have to win out damn near.
Well, they play tonight.
Yeah, and it gets the Ravens, and that's a divisional game. That's going to be a tough one.
You can also make a case that it's a must-win for both.
Yeah.
Because if the Ravens lose, they fall to 6-4. The Steelers win this week, and they go jump to 7-2.
Yeah.
And now you're definitely behind in division as well. And the Bengals.
I mean, think about the Bengals, too. T. Higgins has basically not even played at all, dealing with that hamstring or whatever he got going on.
If I didn't get paid, my hand would be acting up, too. That's all I know. Like,
I mean, he's obviously on the franchise tag, so yeah, if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, you're probably thinking like, damn, because if you really think about it, Joe Burrow's actually had a great season. He's got a slow start, gotten off, but it just hasn't translated to wins, unfortunately.
Let me change my question. The Bengals don't ever make in-season trades.
No.
And this was the first time in like.
Well, they need a running game. They missed Joe Mixon, who they let go down to Houston. Somebody didn't like Joe Mixon, and
no, Joe Mixon there in his last season looked washed. Is that more on the offensive scheme? Because he's down there with the Texans and he's
tearing it up.
But then is it more the
helping
scheme?
your fantasy team too?
He is. I appreciate it. Is it more the scheme though than the running back, or is it? Like,
no, it's definitely scheme because Joe Mixon showed you like I'm not washed. You should have trusted it, believe in me, and he's
Or is it the personnel? Because
but also think about it too. Joe Mixon took a massive pay cut the previous season to stay with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think it was also a money issue too.
I think it was also the Bengals.
But he got a chance to revive himself down in Houston, which is a young team, up and coming. He's gonna get paid too.
I hope he stays there too, because that's a great fit. I mean, it looks great.
If he wouldn't have got hurt when he did, I mean, he'd be up there with.
He'd be up there with Derrick Henry over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. Which you didn't expect him to be there at all.
I didn't. I thought it was a solid move for them to get a running back. I did not by no means expect him to be doing what he is doing. And honestly, the Bengals though, like they're just kind of like I don't want to say a poor franchise, but like they're a cheap franchise.
Well, their owners even came out and said he doesn't really have the money to really take care of a lot of the contracts that needs to be taken care of. I don't even think Joe Burrow's even been paid.
I don't think so. I think this coming offseason he actually gets like the majority of like his bonuses. I do believe. Or
So
the money that he was supposed to get out of his new deal. But it's kind of funny when you look at the Bengals and Ravens, and like when we talked about last week, how you structure your franchise and your coaches around your quarterback. You think about Joe Burrow, he immediately started. Lamar, he didn't start right off the bat, but Joe Flacco got hurt, and he took over and then went to the playoffs while Joe Burrow got hurt. And tore up his ACL because of the shitty O-line.
Yep.
The Ravens have now changed OCs to a more pass-heavy. I'm trying to keep Lamar a little bit more in the pocket while still allowing him to run.
Yep.
And have developed a great O-line. Even the Ravens have been great at drafting, but they've gotten a good O-line in front of him. They retained the left tackle during Lamar's rookie contract. Meanwhile, the Bengals keep striking out, trying to even get a good O-line around. They're still ranked like 25th.
Well, the Bengals have had a tough time getting back to the AFC Championship, where like they did back-to-back seasons, and since then it's been.
Well, they've had to pay people.
They've had to pay people.
Your quarterback, you have to be able to draft. A la the Kansas City Chiefs. We've paid Mahomes. Now, granted, there's the flexibility in that money.
Yes.
Even the Buffalo Bills. Hats off to them because they've been able to draft great.
Well, they finally understood you got to play the young guys. You got to put them out there. You got to play them.
They have no choice. They have held moving off of Diggs. But the Packers are another example. The Ravens are an example. The Steelers on defense are a great example. Offensively, they struggle getting. The Steelers draft great at wide receiver. For whatever reason,
they just can't keep.
They just can't seem to keep them or develop them fully.
So
that's just kind of a slight shame, I guess, because they can't seem to capitalize on what they have. But I'm not mad about it.
No. Let's see. Another real question we have to ask ourselves. Obviously, Kansas City Chiefs fans, ride or die with our Chiefs. Can the Chiefs go unbeaten? And if not, how many losses do you think the Chiefs will end up with? What do you think?
One.
You think one loss?
I think it's going to be the Bills.
You think because we still have some of the toughest games we have is Houston, the Steelers, and the Bills.
I think the Bills are going to be the hardest game for the Chiefs.
That's fair.
But I don't think anybody else is going to be nearly as difficult for them, and I don't see us losing to anybody else but maybe the Bills. And that's maybe. I don't even say for sure we lose to the Bills. I'm saying that there's a really good chance that we could really ride this whole season out and smack everybody.
Like, could you imagine? Like, think about it. We're chasing a 3-peat, and we're 8-0.
Bruh.
It's crazy to think about. We're 8-0 with everything that we've dealt with, from injuries across the board, from wide receivers to running back. Mahomes is banged up.
We haven't been playing well.
Offense finally had a great game against Tampa, but it was also our defense's worst game, but it was Mahomes' best game. So, I mean, it's a real possibility.
It is so possible. We literally just talked about
But we can't overlook, we have to go.
Tough games.
There's going to be some tough games. I think the Steelers will be a tough game just for defensive purposes. Not worried about their offense to a degree, but the Steelers' defense.
Me personally, I don't care much to talk about the Chiefs going undefeated until we get past Buffalo, because I do think that is the next hurdle.
Yes.
Because we have the Broncos this week, which is a noon game.
Finally a noon game. What's that like? God,
well, we had noon games when we were trash. And the Chiefs play on every goddamn day but Wednesday. And I wouldn't put it, Tuesday. We play on every goddamn day but Tuesday. We even play on a Friday, on Black Friday. Like, good God. Like, pull me back to noon. I work night. I need you at noon. Makes my life a lot easier, Kansas City. But I don't really want to talk about the Chiefs going undefeated until we can get past Buffalo, because I do feel like the Broncos is a trap game. Because it's
a divisional game.
Well, because they're going to play us hard, and the Broncos are 5-4. They're very solid. They bring in a great defense, but they do bring in a rookie quarterback. It's our defense. When our defense plays how they should, I think we'll stymie him.
Yeah.
And I like Bo Nix, but I can't anymore, so that sucks. But we can't overlook the Broncos and being a divisional. But I think we have to get through Buffalo, and then there's a stretch about 3-4 games where we should take care of business.
Yeah.
And then we get to that Steelers-Texans gap of the schedule towards the very end there.
But I have to say, too, I didn't expect us to be unbeaten at this point.
You know, it's very easy to look at it, and we could have like 0 wins.
To a degree, yes.
Like, if you think about it, like the Ravens game, we could have lost. We could have won for 2 and gotten it.
Yes.
And if the toe was inbounds. The Ravens call, we got bailed out by the refs. The Bucks games, we could have went for 2 and got it. Or they could have got the coin flip.
Yeah.
There's just been the Falcons. I guess.
But we've just when we need
to beat the Falcons. Well, I guess there was a couple calls there that could have went against us because the refs helped us. So I really guess we could be 0-8, I guess, as back-to-back champs.
Yeah, true.
But we're not because when it matters.
When winning matters, we're making the winning plays.
Patrick Mahomes steps up and shows his MVP.
Finally, it was great to finally have a week where he didn't throw an interception. Finally, great. It was so great.
Yeah, it was.
My bad.
It was Mahomes' probably best game against the Bucks, and honestly, to me, the Bucks aren't no slouch though.
Shout out to Baker Mayfield though. He's got a home. He's 100% got a home with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But no, it's a crazy thing. I mean, we're chasing the three-peat. We've made the trades that we made with the injuries. We got guys coming back. You think about a backfield with Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. With DeAndre Hopkins, you're going to have Hollywood back during the playoffs. Potentially. I mean,
think the craziest thing out of all of this is not that we're really undefeated because...
Where's the love for Andy Reid?
Where's the
love for Andy Reid?
Where's the coach of
the year? Like, I really...
Like,
this, to me, Andy Reid's got to be a coach of the year candidate. Oh, at least a lock-in for coach of the year candidate after everything we've dealt with this year, injury-wise, bringing guys in off the practice squad, whatever, playing with what we got to play with. Not really making a splash trade for a young guy that we could have. We went and got an older, wily veteran who is still very capable of doing great things, as you saw against Tampa Bay game. I thought it was intercepted, but D-Hop.
I think he definitely should be in the consideration.
I just think there needs to be more love for Andy Reid. I know everyone's gonna be like, "Well, you're back-to-back winning Super Bowl champions. You've been to you've won 3 Super Bowls, but Andy Reid still has not gotten a whole lot of love. No Coach of the Year award at all during these
with the tenure with the Chiefs.
With
he did get one with the Eagles.
Yes, but I'm just like, where's the love for Big Red? Like, come on now.
That he's had to deal with offensively, and he's an offensive coach. I think his name should rightfully so be right up there to be in consideration for about halfway through the season now. But I think the craziest stat is Isaiah Pacheco's coming back very soon, and like you said, I want to see it, and I hope that they keep it not necessarily like a split backfield. Obviously, Pacheco more once he gets completely reacclimated back and fully on the go. But Kareem Hunt was the last 1,000-yard back in 2017. He could be potentially the next back for the Kansas City Chiefs to have 1,000 yards. Like that.
But think about it too. Again, there's another dude that you thought coming in you didn't think was gonna be able to give the juice, and he started. Look, okay, then got out, then just rejuvenized himself again. I just know in the fourth quarter, defense is going to be tired as a motherfucker done with Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh, no, you get Isaiah Pacheco and he pops up, you're like, bro, really? And then they put in the 230-pound back Kareem Hunt, brah.
Like, dude, like, coach, I need a break. Sub me out. AR, get me out of the game. I need a break.
You know those corners that fall down and grab their hammy? That'd be me. As soon as Kareem Hunt runs at me, dude, my hammy. Nope, I'm not doing it. Like I think we'll see a lot of ground and pound. But I honestly hope Kareem Hunt gets his 1,000-yard season. Yeah. And just goes to show that the Kansas City Chiefs, we don't the scouting department we have is great. If we potentially have a 1,000-yard back that came off the couch that wasn't even on the practice squad, or even on anybody's practice squad.
Wasn't even on a roster. Was again, and I did for 2 though. I'm happy for Kareem Hunt. He's cherished every damn moment, snap that he's gotten since he's been back in Kansas City.
Yeah.
He never thought he was coming back to Kansas City. Kansas City, the front office was very disappointed with him. Fuck you, TMZ.
He lied.
He did lie, but it was a situation that didn't need to be blown up like it was because it was all resolved. But TMZ was like, no, they can't win right now. We got to release the goddamn video of him kicking her across the goddamn room. And they resolved it. And again, it was still wrong. I get it. It was wrong, and he lied.
It was not a room. It was barely
a hallway or whatever. But fuck you, TMZ, man. We could have had an earlier Super Bowl. We could have been sitting on 4 already.
She barely moved.
But, I'm happy for Kareem Hunt because he's been able to right the one wrong in his career. He was the only other team that took a chance on him was the Browns, obviously, because our former GM went there and brought him there. From there. So he went there, and he just kind of just had bad luck. And he gets to come back to where it all started for him, where, he was well on a trajectory of, like, damn, might be the next best running back. Not ever, but in the league.
He's
and
definitely on a Hall of Fame trajectory with Kansas City, and then the whole, I guess we call it a scandal happened. His incident happened, and then went to the Browns, and then
remember, Nick Chubb never wanted him to leave. Nick Chubb pleaded with him, bro, we can make this work, and just didn't work out. Now he's back.
Browns didn't want to pay him, and
he's back with us, and he's rejuvenated. He looks good. I mean, every time he scores a touchdown, he's holding on to the ball. Like I said, he's cherishing every moment. I'm happy he's been able to right this wrong, and with the organization as well. I'm just really happy for Kareem Hunt. I really am.
Because you can't forget, though, when you're talking about like the actual Chiefs and the personnel, Clyde Edwards-Helaire still going to be coming back.
Yeah. So
we're going to have a beast out of the
our running back room is solid, even with Piera. What is his name? I can't say his name, but like he's a bruising back as well. He used to give us nightmares back when he played for Cincinnati, bro. We could not tackle him. So our running back room is solid from top to bottom. It's just solid.
You can't forget about Gator.
And then there's Gator, dude. I ain't going to Gator's house, dude. Absolutely not. So like I said, our running back room is like, oh my God, I'm so scared. So it is. So shout out to Kansas City, man. We're doing great things. We are doing really great things, and I'm not hoping for an unbeaten season. If it happens, chasing a three-peat, it'd be the first time it's happened since the 71 Dolphins, I think it was. That last went undefeated the whole way through the 71 Dolphins. That's not the record I'm chasing. I just want the three-peat, baby. I just want the three-peat. That's all I want.
Honestly, I don't want to lose. But if we have to lose, I hope it's really get it out.
But I also feel like you need to lose too. But yeah, weird flex. But like you said, if we go undefeated, we go undefeated. But staying on football, the college football playoffs almost here.
Yes, they released the college football.
Right, let's see. We got Oregon's number 1.
Well, they released the college football.
Did they?
Yeah.
Colorado's ranked 20th, so kudos to them. They have a chance where they could probably win the Big 12, which would be insane. So Boise State could make a little push in there too, which would be crazy. Like I said, we got the 12 team playoffs this year, first time in college football.
Not like it really matters.
No, but it's going to be, it's the money grab, and everyone's kind of here for it. But what do we got so far in the college football playoffs? Ooh.
Number 1, you have Oregon.
Well, Oregon. So you got Tennessee. As of right now, if the playoffs started right now, you would have Tennessee versus Indiana, Ohio State versus Boise State, Penn State versus Notre Dame. You would have Texas and Alabama. Wow. That'd be crazy.
With your top 4 being Oregon at 1, BYU at 4, Georgia at 2, and Miami at 3.
That'd be something. I tell you that. So, college football playoffs, like I said, are right around the corner. Man, Boise State and Ohio State, if the playoffs started right now, that's what the matchups would be. That'd be a hell of a matchup. So,
even though Boise State's not even ranked 12th in the college football.
No, I believe they are ranked 12. What are they? Let's see. Brandon's pulling that up right now. Here we go. They are ranked. Alabama's number 11. Boise State is 12th. SMU, man, think about all the stuff they went through back in the day. They're ranked 13th. Lose their program.
Army's 18th.
Army's 8. That's crazy. Army is ranked 18th. They are undefeated. Colorado. Sorry. Colorado's ranked 21st.
Kansas State 22nd.
So, woo! I mean,
Louisville ranks at the top 25 at 6-3.
the college football players. I mean, think about that. That college football. No Clemson, but at least they're ranked after everything they've been through. They're not getting with the program, the NILs. So, like I said, college football playoffs is heating up. It's going to be. I'm be curious to see what the matchups are when it's all said and done. There's a lot of different scenarios that can happen where a team could sneak in, team could be eliminated. So,
could you imagine the awe of Colorado getting into the college football playoffs? How much just drama?
To me, I'm not gonna lie. I want to see. I really want to see Boise State and Colorado in the college football playoffs. I really do.
Well, I think we'll definitely get Boise State and their Heisman running back. And I mean, it's the stars are aligning for Colorado to get into the Big 12 championship game. If they win it, they're not necessarily guaranteed a spot, but they're putting their hat in the ring for it.
So, like I said, stay tuned. We're going to keep bringing you more. A lot of more matchups coming up of college football this weekend that will definitely shake up the AP Top 25. In college sports, still college basketball has started. Men's and women regular seasons is going forward. What are you looking forward to the most this season, college basketball, men and women, whether it's a team or a player? Who are you looking forward to seeing the most?
Personally, my Kansas Jayhawks.
Okay.
We came out
We're
in
number one, baby.
preseason polls, number one. So I'm curious to see how Bill Self and his new players drive. Obviously, their goal to win the Big 12 outright title,
Yep.
Big 12 tournament, and obviously the March Madness tournament. But also, I'm here to see Cooper Flag. He's the biggest name in college ball on really both sides, men's and women. So I'm here to see what Cooper Flag has to offer after we kind of got a little glimpse what he did against Team USA. I'm here to see what he does for Duke.
What about women's basketball? Anybody over there? Paige Beckers, Juju Watkins, South Carolina, and their dominance.
I'm just here to. I'm just kind of waiting for them to get to the.
I'll tell you this right now. I'm here to see what Juju and Paige do this season in college basketball.
I'm here to see what Juju develops. See her take that next step in developing.
I'll give you that. So I'm here for Juju and Paige in women's basketball. And when it comes to men's basketball, obviously outside of my kids, Jayhawks and Cooper Flag, Arkansas with
the Boozer twins.
Boozer twins, and then not Coach K.
Coach K went to Arkansas.
Not Coach K, but he was on Kentucky, former head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats. He left and went to Arkansas. Why am I drawing a blank on his name right now? It's bothering me. He went to Arkansas, Razorbacks basketball, head coach.
I'm pretty sure that's who it is.
It's not Coach K because that was Duke.
Oh, John Perry.
Kyle Perry. How Arkansas does this year with him over there, because that was a big change. Kentucky letting him go. He's going to Arkansas, brought a lot of the commits with him. What does Arkansas do this year? They're ranked 12th. So I'd be curious to do. That's what I'm looking for in college basketball. But college basketball is going to be great this year, both men's and women's. Oh, they're ranked 16th? Oh, 16th. Okay, so I'll be curious to see what they do. Big matchups. So they got their checkbooks out for NIL. That's all I know. Because John Calipari, man,
Well, Arkansas and Kentucky is not too far apart.
So, like I said, looking for a lot of stuff in college sports this year. It's going to be great for college sports all around.
Oh, yeah.
But definitely be looking out for our drink review that we did. Brandon brought out the UV Blue. We went old school. His younger drink for his younger self is what we did this week. So that will be out on our Facebook and on our YouTube shorts. So make sure you go over and follow us over on Facebook. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.